Hey guys, Tyler Berry here with Bass Fishing HQ. Gonna do something a little bit different today. I actually want to build a spinnerbait. I like to build jigs and build spinnerbaits and things like that. And I'm really gonna put together today the perfect pre-spawn spinnerbait. Guys, if, a lot of people across the nation, we're in a pre-spawn time, and a spinnerbait is one of the best lures to fish during the pre-spawn. So I kind of want to build what I would call the perfect pre-spawn spinnerbait. All right, let's do it. So let's go ahead and build us what I would consider the perfect pre-spawn spinnerbait. I'm really excited to do this. Guys, this is what I'm gonna say this particular bait that we'll build will be the best for. And you know, in the springtime when I'm fishing during the pre-spawn, I typically am fishing, especially when that water starts to get in the 50s, I'm fishing a lot of shallow water, that 2 to 4 foot in depths. You know, you're fishing around stumps and brush. You're fishing around lily pads and grass clumps and things like that. So I want a bait that has a lot of thump, because a lot of times in the spring and in the pre-spawn, I'm fishing around muddier water or stained water. And so I want a bait that has a lot of thump. I want a bait that has a lot of color and action, but I also want one that can stay in pretty shallow water, right? I'm not fishing this out to 6 and 8 foot deep. This spinnerbait's gonna be made for that, you know, that 2 and 3 and 4 foot range. So when it comes to size, I'm gonna go with a 1/2 ounce bait. That's a good all around bait to use. It casts really well. And this particular Boss spinnerbait head that I'm using is a very compact spinnerbait, and the reason that I like it is I fish a lot of heavily pressured bodies of water, so having something that's a little bit more compact is a little bit better in my mind, because I get a lot more bites. You know, I'm fishing for a lot of 1.5 to 2 pound fish, and so I like that little bit of compact feel, but at the same time, this bait will get a lot of big bites during the pre-spawn. This is going to be what I would consider to be like my go-to spinnerbait in the spring. Again, I'm fishing shallow, I'm fishing stained or muddy water. So here's our bait. I'm just going with kind of your typical shad or white colored head. It's a 1/2 ounce bait, super good hook on this Boss. That's why I like them so much. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a bead on this bait on the wire here. And now we got to pick out our blade combination. So one of my favorite blade combinations in the spring, in that pre-spawn time frame, is having some sort of orange kicker and having some sort of gold Colorado blade with it. So this is literally my favorite combination here. This is a number 3. This is an orange kicker. You can also have, this is more of a reddish pink kicker that we got here. And then I like gold. Again, I'm fishing this in stained water, muddy water for the most part. So I like to have a gold blade. I feel like it does better in the muddy water. So that's going to be my combination here. I'm going to have a number 4 gold blade, a number 3 orange kicker, a 1/2 ounce head. So as far as the color of the skirt that I'm going to go with this bait, you know, I really like pretty much 3 main colors in the spring during that pre-spawn time frame. Again, we're fishing muddy water. So I really like the chartreuse, just straight chartreuse in real muddy water. I also like straight white. White is just a great bait all around. This is just an opaque white. And then I have kind of a combo. This is kind of more of a chartreuse and white. That this is the actual skirt I think I'm going to use for this particular spinnerbait. So anyways, let's go ahead and build this bait real quick. It won't take too long. I'm going to take 1 bead and I'm going to place this bead on the wire. So we got 1 bead on there. And then I'm going to put my first blade on, which is that orange kicker blade. To do that, I have this little part here. I'm not even sure what this is called. I'll put it below. But I'm going to feed this onto the blade itself, just like that. And it's very important when you put this blade on to have it facing the right way, because you can have it facing the wrong way and it's not going to catch water correctly. So basically, when you feed this blade on, you want the blade to face backwards. When it's hanging straight down, you want the cup to be facing towards the hook. You see how the cup is facing the hook there? You see that? That is what you want. The cup is facing the hook. Okay, that's going to allow that bait to spin just like this, and that is what you want. So then I'm going to put another bead on this bait. So I just have one bead in front of the blade, one bead behind the blade. And then I have a lot of these little springs here. These are just, you can put just a number of beads in between them. Or you can use little spacers, and I'm going to use one of these little spacers. This is just a small little, actually, you know what? I'm not going to use a spacer. You can use a spacer, but I want this bait to have a little bit more weight and a little bit more cling and clang to it. And to do that, I'm actually just going to add some more beads. So let's go ahead and we're going to put on, we'll say like three, 4, or 5 beads on here. All right, we got 4 beads. I like that. We got our little spinnerbait swivels here. These are one of the most expensive parts of this whole deal, is this stupid little swivel. But anyways, I'm gonna feed the blade on first to the back of this. All right, so now we got our bait with our beads on it, and we got this. Now this is probably the more difficult part of this whole thing, and basically I'm just going to bend this wire. There's probably devices made for this specifically, but I usually just use a pair of needle nose pliers. Grip that on the very end and just roll it down. That's all I do. I just like to roll it like so, right across the thing. And there you can see there, probably won't be able to see, but it made a perfect little loop right there. Big gap as I thought. So now we're just going to feed our hook. Now we got that on. Now I just use this and kind of pinch that wire closed so that sucker is not going anywhere. Bam! So now we got our blade combination set. Look at that. It's starting to come together. That is just looking pretty, looking beautiful, super compact. That's what I love. Half ounce. This is a half-ounce bait, but it's really compact, that's what I really, really love. So, okay, so let's put on our skirt, and I'm actually thinking, and I was thinking about putting this particular skirt on, but it's a little bit more translucent than I think that I would really like. So I'm actually going to take out this straight white, and we're going to use just the straight white. I think that is going to be perfect for this spinnerbait. Simple enough. Take your skirt and just feed it up on your hook like so. I like to get those kind of spread out before I push it on there. Bam. Here we go. Now it's really starting to come together. Okay, now what I like to do here is, again, I'm making a real compact bait here, guys. Again, it's because I'm fishing a little bit smaller fish. If I was fishing for a little bit bigger fish, I would leave the skirt big. I would leave everything pretty big, to be honest. But this is just going to be a little compact skirt. There we go, guys. There's the spinnerbait. That is the perfect pre-spawn spinnerbait, in my opinion. There's one more part of this that's going to make this just perfect, and that's adding a trailer. Guys, having a trailer, especially in the spring on your spinnerbait, to me is just a must. And I love matching that white and chartreuse. So I'm going to bite that down just a little bit. Again, this is a real compact bait. Put a dab of super glue on it. Don't have any super glue on me right now, so I'm just going to thread it on. Oh gosh, this is about to be so beautiful. I feel like sometimes ugly spinnerbaits in this pre-spawn do the trick. Bam. There it is. Look at that. That is literally just beautiful to me. I don't know about you guys, but that is just beautiful. We got this bulky white skirt, compact bait. Bass are going to just absolutely crush that. So there we go. That's a half-ounce pre-spawn spinnerbait. We got the orange kicker on there. We got a number 4 gold Colorado blade on there. I can see me catching a lot of fish on that bait. So there we go, guys. Put this on 15 to 20 pound line and throw it out there, and you're gonna get freaking blistered by some bass. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, making this awesome little spinnerbait here. I really can't wait to get this out on the water. To me, it's just a perfect little pre-spawn spinnerbait. Gonna catch a lot of bass, and gonna catch some big ones. Guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.